Hello, welcome back to Zero Escape 2, Virtue's Last Reward. Oh, okay, there's Sigma's ending. Fine. This is open now. Warehouse A, 5 minutes of life, lock number 3. Oh, yes, I can do this. Oh, okay. Oh. Alright, the next one down. Oh, shit. Yeah. H C N M R. Where's the fourth one? Where?
Sigma さ
5
ん、
minutes of life.
その手どうしたんですか？何か白いものがついてるみたいですけど。
Huh? Okay.
シグマさんの両腕の中には人間の骨とは明らかに異なった
So,
骨格
how
が
does
存
he
在していま
survive
す。
this?
つまりシグマさんの両腕は
Or,
サイバネティックアームだったということに。
what was that? I have cybernetic arms? It was both shocking and utterly obvious. Of course my arms were artificial. Titanium alloy bones with an ABT exterior to mimic human skin. But I had no idea why. Nor did I know when my human arms, which I distinctly remembered having, had been replaced. In that flash of Luna I'd seen, I was certain it had never happened. Those things hardly mattered, though. If I survived, I could worry about them later. The fact that my arms were mechanical, however, that might be useful. Whoa. I called up all the strength I had left and stood one more time. What are you waiting for? Why don't you open it already?
何を
Did I stutter? Open the number 9 door.
シグマ、何を言ってるんですか、シグマさん。
ついに自暴自棄になっちまいやがったか。まあいい。言われなくてもそうするつもりだって。
Then hurry up.
待ってよ。そうせかすな。おい、ケ
Okay, what is he going to
お
do?
前の BP も確か
He
9だ
has
ったな。
5 minutes. Sigma.
お前はどうする？一緒に行くか？
私は
What now?
私はここに残ります。
どうして？
シグマさんがこんな状態なのに見捨てていくわけにはいきません。
Don't worry about me. Go. You have to get outside and call for help.
いや、しかし
Do you think Dio will? If he's the only one who gets out of here, there's no hope for the rest of us. You're the only one we can count on.
わかりました。
よし、決まりだな。行くぞ、ケ。
よせ、やめろ。
Phi began to move, but it was already too late. We also know that K is actually Sigma. He's the real Sigma. Dio grabbed the lever and threw it down. I have robot arms, and K is actually Sigma. What is going on?
9の扉が開放されました。9の扉閉鎖まで残り9秒です。
それじゃあな。あばよ。
皆さん、必ず助けを呼んで戻ってきます。ですから、希望を捨てずに。
Yeah, I know. Just get going already. But just you, Kay. As Dio turned to look at me, I crouched. Then, calling on every last bit of strength my weary body could supply, I launched myself toward him like a coiled spring. I slammed into his legs, knocking him to the floor and wrapping my hands around his ankle before he could get back up. Okay.
何しやがんだこの野郎。扉が閉まっちまうじゃねえかよ。
Stop him.
離せ離せ離せっつってんだろうがこら。
Go Sigma. He lashed out with his free leg at my head, shoulders, and arms, but I held on. I ignored the pain, tightening my grip with every blow.
おい、これは一体何の真似だ。どうしてこんなことする。約束だったらちゃんと守っただろうが。
Yeah, so did I. Far as I recall, it didn't say anything about letting you escape.
嫌がらせ。くそ、ふざけんなよてめえ。とにかく俺は何としてでもここを出なきゃならねえんだ。ただの嫌がらせなんかで俺の崇高な任務を邪魔されてたまるかよ。
Dio began to pull himself along with his elbows, bit by bit, edging closer to the exit. He was headed straight through the door, but the gate was already beginning to close. With only a few feet to spare before it shut, he crawled across the threshold and beyond the door.
Sigma! もういいよ。もう十分だよ。手を離してください、シグマさん。このままでは扉に挟まれるぞ。
Alright. See you later, Dio.
しかし最後の最後まで間抜けな男だったなお前は。とっととくたばりやがれこの死に損ないが。
No, I'm going to live.
Eh?
Ah, the door smashed his head.
9の扉を閉鎖しました。これにてノナリーゲームは終了となります。お疲れ様でした。なお、ゲームの終了に伴い、施設内にある9の扉以外のすべての扉は開放されます。どうぞごゆっくりとお過ごしください。残りの余生をこの施設の中で。
The announcer's voice grated at the inside of my skull. I felt tired, so very, very tired. I felt my eyes flutter closed. And then nothing. Huh? What?
シグマさん。シグマ。 あ、ようやく目を覚ましたか。
Where am I? I rubbed my eyes and slid my legs off the bed to stand up. I'm alive. Well, to be honest, it was an examination table, not a bed. Which meant the infirmary, huh?
気を失ったあなたをみんなで運んでくれたみたいよ。
You guess?
私は直接見たわけじゃないから。あなたと同じように気絶しちゃってたの。 AB ルームの中で K
Why?
に突然お腹をドンってされて、最低よねあいつ。暴力で投票権を奪い取るなんて。
Whoa. And after he knocked you out, he voted betray, which brought his BP up to 9.
ええ。
So, where is he now?
9の扉から出て行きました。ディオと一緒にね。行けと言ったのはお前だろ。
Oh, yeah.
ところで腕の方は大丈夫か？
Arm.
事の顛末は全て聞いた。お前さんの腕がサイバネティックアームだということも知っておる。もっともその事実を知ってもさして驚くことはなかったがな。なんとなくそうではないかとうすうす察しておったから。
I looked down at my left hand. Or rather, I looked down at where my left hand should have been. Instead, there was a stub wrapped in white gauze. I told myself I'd do anything to get the cure, even if it meant letting Dio betray me, but I had a feeling I might come to miss my hands. Oh yeah, how's Quark?
僕ならここにいるよ。
Quark. Man, I'm glad you're alright. Feeling better?
シグマさんのおかげでね。シグマさん、ディオのやつから抗ウイルス薬奪い返してくれたんでしょ。それをルナさんに打ってもらったんだ。ありがとう。本当にありがとう、シグマさん。
Aww. How do we tell him? Oh no, it seemed that shared stories while I was asleep. Oh, we're gonna die. Everyone knew how I made a deal with Dio and about the journal we found with the Latin in it. Clover and Phi seem to have done most of the talking.
それにしても逆だったとは驚きです。私たちが感染者だったわけじゃなくて、外にいる人たちの方が感染者だったなんて。もしもそれが本当なら、ここは隔離施設じゃなくて保護施設ってことになりますけど。いや、まだそうと決まったわけではない。私も最初はそう思ったんだが、シグマに矛盾点を指摘されてな。
Yeah, Vi and I have already gone over it, but I explained what I noticed. One, if we were in a shelter for uninfected people, why had Quark been infected? Any place designed to keep a virus like that out would have a lot of safeguards to keep anything from getting in. Had the virus really bypassed all those measures? It didn't seem likely. 2. The timing of our abductions and the pandemic's outbreak was strange. It would make sense if we'd been rescued after the disease had become widespread, but that wasn't what had happened. First, we'd been abducted, then the pandemic had broken out. 3. We didn't know why Zero had put us in an honorary game. If we were survivors he wanted to protect, then why try and kill us? If we were in a shelter, why wasn't it safe?
こういう可能性はどうかな。まず何者かがあらかじめパンデミックの発生について予想してたの。この何者かが誰なのかはわからない。多分ゼロだとは思うんだけど。でその人はウイルスが蔓延する前に私たちを保護、このシェルターに収容した。だけどしばらく経ったら退屈になってきちゃったから暇つぶしにゲームを。
Who on earth would make people he rescued play a game where they could die just because he was bored?
でも本当にバングルに毒薬が仕込まれてるかどうかわからないじゃん。
What?
今のところ注射を打たれたことがあるのはシグマだけで、だけどそれも第一の薬マンドレインだけだったわけで。
What are you saying? That what I did at the number 9 door was all pointless?
そうは言ってないけど。
いえ、それはありえません。バングルの中には間違いなくハイメトリン、禁止換薬が装填されています。アダムの解析結果からこのことは明らかです。
アダムが嘘をついてたら？
それを言ったらもう何もかも推理のしようがありませんよ。新聞記事だってラテン語で書かれた日記だって全部捏造されたものかもしれませんからね。
あるいは日記は本物だが私の役は嘘だったとかな。
You made it up.
いや本当だ。翻訳に間違いはない。ただそういう可能性についていちいち挙げていったらキリがないと言いたかっただけだ。とにかくゼロがひつまぶしで芸者をもてなしたとは考えにくい。
え？
間違えた。とにかくゼロが暇つぶしでゲームを行ったとは考えにくい。
How do you make that mistake?
とはいえ四つ葉の話を頭ごなしに全否定するのもどうかと思う。
Meaning?
何者かがパンデミックの発生について予想していたのではないかという可能性についてなら考えられないこともないということだ。
パンデミックが人為的に引き起こされたものだとするならありえないこともないですね。
だよね。ノアの箱舟だって洪水が起こってから動物たちを船に乗せたわけじゃないし、洪水が起こる前のことでしょ。ノアさんがそれをしたのは。
つまり種の保存のために我々は保護されたというわけか。
近い将来に発生するであろうパンデミックによって人類という種は絶滅の危機に瀕してしまうかもしれない。どこかの誰かがそう考えて私たちを捕獲したと。
Where we populate? I looked around and did a quick inventory. Four women, an old man, and a kid. That meant I was the only young, fertile male. Repopulation, huh? That didn't sound so bad. If that was the case, maybe there wasn't any reason to escape. If the newspaper and the journal were right, then the world outside was crawling with a deadly virus. Why would we go expose ourselves to that? This would be the safest, happiest place on Earth.
いずれにせよもうゲームは終わってしまったんじゃ。考えても仕方がなかろう。
そんなことはない。ゲームは終わってもまだまだわからないことだらけではないか。むしろますます謎は深まるばかりだ。
じゃがそれを考えて何になる。答えが出たら9の扉が開くのか。もう終わりなんじゃよ、何もかも。理由はどうあれ わしらはここに閉じ込められたまま一生を終えることになる。わしら8人は永遠にこの施設から出ることはできんのじゃ。
亡くなったあの老婆も含めてということですね。
そうじゃ。
ねえ、思ったんだけどさ、あの老婆がゼロボスって可能性はないの？
Yeah, you're right. But we never even considered that.
でも私たちをさらってきた犯人が誰かに殺されるってどういうことよ。殺されたんじゃないのかもよ。
つまり自ら命を絶ったということか。ラジカル6に感染して。
But we didn't find a knife or any kind of weapon in the AV room with her.
運び込まれたんじゃない？どこか別の場所で自殺してから。
What? That's ridiculous.
とにかくもう一度老婆の体を調べてみよう。もしかしたら何か手がかりになるようなものを持ってるかもしれないし。
Sure, okay. We looked down at the body of the old woman. Bai was the first to move. Quietly and methodically, she began to examine the woman in her clothes. I just stood there. Even if she was dead, no, especially because she was dead, I just didn't feel right touching her. After a few silent minutes, Spy suddenly stopped. She pulled something from one of the old woman's sleeves and held it out toward me. A card?
この施設の ID カードのようだな。写真がプリントされているから
Kurashiki.
彼女のものと考えて間違いなかろう。
Oh, oh, looks like her name is Kurashiki. Oh, ever heard it before?
いや、私はない。お前は？
No. Anything on the back? There's something written here. Jumpy doll. It says Jumpy doll.
頭のところにパスイコールとあるから何かのパスワードかもしれないな。
What does that mean?
ああ、
Looks like written. She must have put it on here herself so she wouldn't forget it.
だと思う。
We were still looking the card over when I heard a commotion from the other part of the room. Jumpy doll.
アリス、
I wonder if it's Akane's mother?
アリスさん、
アリスさん。
お前、そんなものを持って一体何をするつもりじゃ。
Pai and I turned around and gasped.
行こう。
We ran to the other end of the room and skidded around the partition. There stood Alice, her hand wrapped tightly around the scalpel. She didn't seem stable. Her eyes were flat and hollow. So this is it. This again. Motionless mask. Not well. The look on her face was all confused. Quark. She looked just like Quark before he went insane. But that man.
さよなら。
Her hand moved, lifting the scalpel up high in the air, then driving it down toward her heart. Akane. Akane's mother. Oh. Is that Akane's mother? Hmm. I still have a lot of questions. And Quark and oh, okay. Bye.